Everyone's praising Erika Kirk's memorial speech like it was brave, but when you actually start looking into her, it gets dark fast.
Something is shifting around the Erika Kirk story, and honestly, the deeper people look, the darker it feels. Because what started as quiet tension inside the Kirk family has now blown up into a full-on storm, and the center of it all is Erika Kirk, and Charlie's own sister.
It seemed more like a rally than a memorial, and Charlie's own parents and sister didn't even attend. Grief isn't a performance, and what went down at that memorial definitely felt like one. First off, have you even looked into Erika Kirk, or looked into how her and Charlie even met?
People are calling her the unexpected whistleblower, the one person who finally broke the perfect image and cracked something open that, once exposed, can't be put back together. Her comments, her screenshots, her cryptic posts, they didn't just raise questions, they shattered the version of events people thought they understood. And what's creeping everyone out the most is how calm Erika seemed through all of it. Too calm, almost like someone who already knew exactly where this story was heading long before anyone else did. Everything flipped when certain leaked messages started circulating, messages supposedly from within the Kirk family chat. One line hit everyone the hardest. "I don't even feel like I know her anymore." That alone sent a shockwave because it implied something deeper than normal relationship strain. It hinted at a shift, like Erika was becoming someone completely different around the time everything started falling apart. People online began connecting that to something Charlie's sister implied, that Erika wasn't just drifting away emotionally. She was tightening her grip, taking control in ways that no one around them expected. And that's where insiders began speaking up. Staffers from Tfuza claimed that in the months before the tragedy, Erika started showing up to events differently. Not as the supportive spouse people were used to seeing, but as someone stepping into authority. Someone giving subtle direction, someone answering questions before Charlie could, someone acting like she was preparing for a role she hadn't been assigned yet. And according to some accounts, she wasn't doing it alone. That's when things took an eerie turn.
How have we gone from this?
That young man, I forgive him.
Which was the 21st of September, and now 7 days later, we get this.
Nothing is changing, but I want to preface, we're not awkward, we're not like weird, we're not crit, we're not going to be tweeting as if it's him. That's tone deaf and really disturbing, and anyone who does that's like morbidly off.
Hey, we're gonna be doing about 5 more episodes a week now, so just tell the team and make sure that happens.
3 hours of this, 2 more hours of podcasting.
There is just something that just doesn't feel right. It feels wrong. It feels off. And I am trying so hard not to over-speculate, but it's hard when stuff like this is being put out to us.
Reports began popping up about unfamiliar faces appearing around her, people no one recognized, quiet, detached, watching everything. They never tried to blend in, never interacted, never smiled. They were simply present. And every time they arrived, the whole room changed. The energy got heavier, conversations slowed. Staffers chose their words more carefully. It was like someone invisible was tightening the boundaries around Erika, guiding her steps, adjusting her presence, shaping her next move. But the twist that really made the internet lose its mind was the claim that Erika's sudden rise inside Tfuza wasn't sudden at all. That it was slow, intentional, strategic, and allegedly planned long before Charlie died. A whistleblower suggested that Erika had been preparing for a leadership role, not behind the scenes, but right in front of everyone, just disguised as support. Even certain donors, especially the powerful ones, reportedly signaled more trust in her than in Charlie himself. And if that's true, then what happened next becomes even harder to ignore. People still talk about the memorial, the cameras, the tone, the choreography of it all. The moment should have been about grief, but instead it felt polished, almost rehearsed. And the biggest detail everyone noticed wasn't even about Erika. It was who wasn't there. Charlie's parents. His sister. The people closest to him, missing from the most important moment of his farewell. For many, that was the first undeniable sign of a fracture inside the family, a fracture big enough to swallow the whole narrative. But even stranger than the absence was Erika's demeanor, her composure, her delivery, her presence. To some, it looked strong. To others, it looked calculated, too controlled, too perfect. The kind of perfection someone achieves only when the emotion isn't fully real, or when they've rehearsed it. Then the coincidences started piling up. Charlie's devices, the laptop and phone, were reportedly taken immediately as company property, then vanished. Officially, they were given to investigators, but no one has confirmed it. For many people online, that was the moment the story stopped being a tragedy and started looking like something else entirely. Then came the piece of information that's still sending people down rabbit holes. Erika's mother, a woman with a long background in defense-related industries, quietly stepping away from multiple projects at the exact same time people began digging into the family's past. Archived pages disappeared, professional bios changed, old documentation vanished, and again, no one explained why. The timing alone set the internet on fire. But everything took a darker turn when a rumor resurfaced about how Erika and Charlie first met. The story Erika always shared, that she spotted him briefly in Israel, then somehow ran into him again in New York, was already a little too cinematic for some. But after the leaks, people aren't calling it a coincidence anymore. Some believe that meeting might have been arranged, facilitated, orchestrated by someone with influence and interest, someone who wanted access to Charlie long before Erika stepped into his life. Again, none of this is confirmed. These are theories, speculations, and pieces the internet is connecting on its own. But in the absence of transparency, speculation becomes its own ecosystem. As days passed, more and more inconsistencies popped up. The shift in Tuz's direction, the sudden silence around topics Charlie himself had been passionate about, the abrupt halt to audits he was reportedly conducting, the disappearance of people who once stood beside him, the emergence of voices who suddenly refused to speak at all, especially his parents, who remain silent to this day. What haunts people the most is the contrast between two versions of grief: Erika's public, polished, forward-facing, and the parents' private, shattered, and eerily silent. They haven't defended her. They haven't clarified anything. They haven't spoken a single word in support of the narrative being pushed online. To many watching, silence becomes its own kind of message. All of this, the memorial, the behavior, the missing family, the sudden power shift, the rumors about Erika's past, the strange connections, the inconsistencies, has created a storm of unanswered questions. And whether fair or not, the internet is filling in the blanks with its own theories. So the real question now is the one no one can escape. Is this entire situation just a whirlwind of rumors, misunderstandings, and coincidences? Or is there a hidden story quietly rising to the surface, piece by piece, leak by leak? Let me know what you think in the comments, and remember, this is all based on speculation, public chatter, and what people online believe might be happening behind the scenes. If you want me to keep digging into the donor connections, the family divide, and the timeline that still doesn't fully add up, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. There's more coming. And from what people are saying, the next chapter might be even darker.